All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your mind. Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Gathering of Old Men Podcast. Myself, TG, and Mullo, talking into this week's event. Hey, I want to say again, welcome to another edition of the Gathering of Old Men Podcast. Special guest Sam is on the show, fresh off of his brand new degree, sir. Congratulations. It's a lot going on, lot going on out there. Right now, FAMU and Bethune-Cookman are in a death match in the SWAC softball tournament. It is 1-1. It's a nail biter. The winner goes on to, I guess, the winning part of the losers bracket. So that is what is on the line for tomorrow, or for tonight, going into tomorrow. Lot of news going on. I originally invited Sam on because there was a couple announcements that his school had going on, the commitments that raised some eyebrows. It's like, oh, okay, they got something going on over there. And then also, Florida A&M had a commitment from CJ Montez, which I wanted Sam to take a look at. However, he has chosen to go back to Kent State for whatever reason. Completely understand. It happens. But again, this is the transfer portal era. There are more talented athletes in the portal than there are not. And FAMU picks up another commitment from RJ Johnson, 6'2", 215 pounds, 3-star, should have been at a P4. I know why he's not at the P4, but I'm wait for the person. I'm trying to get that person to come on the show to talk about how commitments don't end up at P4s, because everybody don't like to talk about it until transfer portal season is over. So we'll get into that at some point, I hope. But Sam, y'all have some commitments for this upcoming season. Yeah. Let's talk about it. What y'all got coming in to good old Montana?
So they just had an offensive lineman. Hold up, let me pull it up so I can make sure that I'm dialed with what I'm saying. But so one thing I think that Montana really needs is an offensive line. That's something that Montana's been lacking for a while. They just got a commitment from a transfer out of NC State. Now, here's my thing about transfers coming from the P5 level, P4 level. How good are they?
Are they practice squad good, or do they got any type of tape on them? You know what I'm saying? And to me, like when you say how good are they, I don't want to see practice tape, bro. Like you haven't played not one snap in the game.
Yep.
Now I understand, like, if to me, I understand if you're a freshman and you transferring in, you got some sort of practice tape, that's cool because you got something on tape. But if you're an older guy, we looking at some folks on the FCS level to say, look, can you play? Is it to, is it to the point where, is it to the fact where, as if you come in, can you learn the playbook? Can you, can you do this? Can you do that? And can we just put you right then and there without us having to be, the coach be a micromanager and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my question. Is like, I think he's a grad transfer. Name is Patrick Maton, offensive line, 6'4", 301 pounds from NC State. My thing is like exactly what you were saying. Is he going to be able to come in and start right away? Like, is he good enough to do that? Or is he transferring because he wasn't good enough? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any film on this guy. So that's my one question. But then they got another offensive lineman from Cal, Dylan Jim to guard. Offensive lineman out of Cal, 6'4", 295 pounds. I think they're going to help. Obviously, they're going to add depth. I mean, I think that's something that Montana needs to address, is their offensive line. It's something that they've never been super, super strong at. I think the year that they were the best over the past 10 years was in 2023, and they went all the way to the national championship. So, I don't know. I think there's some good things working out for Montana. I'm very interested to see what their roster is going to look like in the fall. I think it's just so hard, man. Like the transfer portal, players leaving, players graduate, and you never know what the roster is going to look like year over year. So that's my one question: is what is that starting lineup going to look like in the fall? But I mean, I think they're making good moves. I think they're making the moves that they need to make. I mean, one thing that Coach Houck said, and I'm giving credit to Sean Rady for quoting this. He said, when asked what they think they need to address out of the portal following the spring game, Coach Houck said the trenches. So he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, address the trenches, and we'll see how it works out for him.
It starts and ends in the trenches. If your trench is trash, you can't stop nobody. You can't move the ball. You can't protect your quarterback. You can't do nothing.
Yep. And think about when Montana went to the national championship in 2023. They probably had the best defensive tackle in the country. He won the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year. Not Brody Grebe. Alex Gubner. He's actually going to the CFL this week for training camp. But I mean, that's where it starts. You got to have the trenches, or you can't do anything.
I will always relate everything back to how the Eagles dominated in the Super Bowl. It was
talk about it
up front, both sides of the ball. They pounded the rock. And they got pressure on the quarterback with 4, sometimes 3 people, and the Chiefs couldn't run the ball, and they got dominated. Simple math.
Yep,
it is simple math, man.
No, real quick. So, you're fine. You're fine. My thing is that so what I'm seeing across FCS is there are players being brought in from the portal to essentially compete for positions, which I know isn't a popular thing with the younger guys, but iron sharpens iron. So if you come in and compete in the fall, and I can't remember when the fall transfer window is. Is it December?
Yeah.
I think it's December. Okay. Yeah. So you come in and compete. If you don't win the job, at the very least, be next man up ready. Because again, injuries happen. It is a part of the game. So
think about what Nick Saban in Alabama did for so long.
Yeah,
they got 5-star behind 5-star behind 5-star.
So and that's what I would like to tell a lot of the FCS schools who they don't like the transfer window, they don't like NIL. It is a part of this new landscape. The best thing you can do is go ahead, TP.
I was just about to say they don't like nothing that don't benefit them.
Right.
So,
or they too lazy to go out there, you know what I'm saying, and change everything up. Like you know what's up. You still want to be competitive. It's kind of like Dabo Swinney at Clemson. You don't like the transfer portal, but you got to stay competitive some sort of way.
Hey, you see, he made some changes. Hey, hold on. Let's go back to Dabo because he made some changes early in the season. Because somebody pointed out, hey, those skill positions look a little tan over there, look a little tan, and you seen the changes that was made after that. They start getting a little darker on the outside, and they start winning games. Like Cade Klubnik is probably the best quarterback coming back. Like I get it, you know, Carson Bennett went down to
Miami.
But no, I'm telling you right now, Cade Klubnik is the best quarterback outside of Arch Manning.
On the point about the FCS and the transfer portal and coaches not liking it. What is there to like about it? You have a player who goes for 1,000 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. He is gone. I mean, it's not a system that is favorable for the FCS coaches. So why would they like that? Why would they like NIL in the transfer portal? They can't pay their players the money that they're getting offered at the FBS, and then they can't retain any players.
Let's look at the players that are getting drafted from FCS because y'all had a first rounder this year.
Yep, Gray Zabel, North Dakota State.
So now what we have to do is we have to actually evaluate these players. And I get it, the FCS might not have the money on the front end to get players, you know, to transfer out of P5. But at the end of the day, I seen something that made so much sense today. This kid was like, I'm not trying to just get to the NFL. I'm trying to get to that second contract because that's where the money's at. So you can do that being trained properly in the FCS. You can do that being trained properly at the HBCU.
I'm about to throw a whole hand
goal is just getting there. And I understand why the coaches wouldn't like the NIL if it doesn't benefit them because, like you said, you go for 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and play it gone. But we have to change that. they have to do a better job of retaining their players, whatever that may be. And players getting drafted in the first round, that's gonna change real quick because now it's gonna be, hey, I can get drafted wherever I'm at.
Think about this, TP. Let me add this in there. Quinn Ewers went to Texas, 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He got drafted after Cam Miller and Tommy Millott, 2 FCS quarterbacks who played in the FCS National Championship. I mean,
I'm about to get to that because as a Raiders fan, I am completely on board with Tommy Millott. I think he's gonna make an excellent slot receiver. That 40 time, his ability to run routes, he did well for himself at the combine. I don't know if the Miller is going to have to make a leap, a heroic leap to make the squad. He may end up on the practice squad. I think he'll be better served with 1 year in the CFL. To be honest with you, 1 year in the CFL, he'll be better than all the quarterbacks drafted this year.
He's not going to play quarterback at the NFL level. He will be a receiver.
I know Cam Miller is.
He's not. Cam Miller is.
No, Cam Miller is drafted as the quarterback.
I thought you were talking about the other guy.
No.
Y'all got Carter Bradley, y'all got Cam Miller, and y'all got Aiden O'Connell, Geno Smith. I mean, I don't even know who Carter Bradley is, and I think Cam Miller is better than Aiden O'Connell.
He is. Everybody.
I was about to say, Troy.
No,
Cam Miller but you got to realize Cam Miller came from a damn near NFL ready type offensive system.
The last quarterback to get drafted out of that school won an MVP. Let that sink in.
TP, what happened next? Don't tell him the story. Tell the whole story.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Injuries
happened.
And what happened after that? Because he wasn't just in the Eagles.
What happened after that? Because you can't tell me that there's not a psychological damage that's done after an injury.
If you're talking about Carson Wentz, I get that. But also, we have to, if we're going to talk about Carson Wentz, we also have to talk about Trey Lance.
I've moved Trey Lance out of this whole conversation because Trey Lance had something that nobody else had. He had to deal with a whole coach. They had to make up a reason to play a game so he can get reps for the NFL. That's not
Central
fair.
Arkansas.
I wasn't sold on Trey Lance when he got drafted, honestly.
He was. I don't. Trey Lance had a once in a lifetime thing happen to him. That has. If we are honest with the low evaluation outputs of the players that came in the last 3 years, you can directly correlate that to the fact that their high school seasons were shut down because of COVID. They did not.
If we're being real about that Cam Miller season. Or not the Cam Miller, the Trey Lance season. That Central Arkansas game they played during the COVID season, he did not play well.
No, he got beat around in that game right there.
He just didn't look strong
against mediocre defenses. That told me everything I need to know. Because I tell you what, you get in the NFL, D linemen are moving like DBs did in college. You're not finna be able to run around like you think you are. They on your ass. So you know who said, ain't got the wheels or you ain't got the know-how, and this thing about climbing pockets that these quarterbacks aren't being taught properly because all they do is sit in shotgun. They're not learning. They're not learning the proper tools on how to manage a pocket. And if you can't manage a pocket, you can't deliver the ball from a stable platform. And if you can't deliver the ball from a stable platform, it's not going to be accurate.
Hey, but Cam Miller's got all that.
But you know who said that though? It was Malik Neighbors who was on the 7 p.m. Brooklyn podcast with Melo. Mm-hmm. He said that you think that when you was in college, you could get away with a whole bunch of stuff. But he was like, you got DBs that can, they ain't running a 4-3 or 4-3 or 4-4, but they stand with you. He also saying that you throwing a screen pass out there, you got D linemen that's running fast like damn linebackers trying to cut your head off. So he wasn't wrong. So he was saying that the difference between college and the NFL is vastly
the speed.
Yeah, it's vastly like the separation is immense because of the fact the speed of the game. You know what I'm saying? If just like you said with Trey Lance, that's quote unquote special game that they had against Central Arkansas so he could get some sort of tape. We saw what happened. And then you see what happened when he was in San Francisco. It was just the fact that he was in an offense where the run was the quarterback don't have to do as much. All he is a game manager because you hand the ball out to a stable of running back. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
When he was in San Fran.
Let me ask y'all this: what do y'all think the gap is between the G5 and the FCS? Where do y'all think it lies?
There is no gap. There's no gap.
The gap is the speed
and the trench play.
The trenches
and the trench play, because really good offensive lineman is hard to come by.
Yeah. That's the difference. It's just the offensive line. Offensive line and depth. It's the depth.
Yeah. Because you're gonna see that, but then once you make that jump from college to the NFL,
it don't matter.
The speed of the game itself changes. And that's why do you think Jaden Daniels was so successful? Because he developed a new way of preparing for football games. He was watching film at 1.5 and 2.5 times speed just so he could train his brain to react to how fast things were going to be going down out there. As athletic as he is, he still understood that his athleticism alone wasn't going to save him in the NFL. That is a true pro. That is what it means to be a pro. Preparation, the details are in the preparation. And if you're not doing those things, then you're not going to be successful. It doesn't matter what school you went to.
Yep.
Hey, I'm watching the combat in the chat. Ridiculous. Anyway, here's one thing I'll say. There are probably 6 skill players that are faster than the majority of the skill players in the MAC. That's just in the SWAC. The difference is that the G5s have trench play and they have depth. That's the only difference. My issue with specifically the SWAC is style of play. The style of play is starting to mimic some of that of Canada Junior, which changes how people look at the SWAC, because the SWAC used to be a chunk it all over the field, showcase your skill position, and then you would realize that, hey, we do have trench play. It's not that no more. It is.
You think they're trying to run the ball or throw it around or what?
They are running the ball a lot.
The running game is returning, man.
The run game is back.
Look,
returning.
I am framing this as how people look at the SWAC as opposed to how they used to look at the SWAC.
Yeah. They need to pay more attention.
Again, Alabama A&M had their offensive tackle drafted, but the coach got fired. The SWAC is in a different position than, say, a Montana or a North Dakota State or a South Dakota State. Not only do they have to win games, they have to make it look good. It's different down here. It's got to be flashy. Not only does it have to be flashy, it has to be flashy enough to impress the scouts. Now, there are some schools that FAMU is one of them, and it'll be FAMU in the last 4 years is a direct undrafted free agent to an NFL roster. It has happened each of the last 4 years, 3 years or 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. They can build on that. But again, we're talking about one player a year as opposed to 3. And granted, only 1% of 1% is going to make the NFL.
Facts.
Point blank period.
You just would like to see that number higher from HBCUs. Like I would completely understand that. And the undrafted number, not the 5th round, the 5th round. That undrafted number gets them to their second contract faster. So that undrafted number, I want it to be higher. And it's just me, just my wishes or whatever. And people may feel the same way about FCS players, but getting them to that second contract, 5th round, that's cute, great. But they also get that franchise tag with that 5th round draft pick. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the 1st and 2nd round. But the 5th round draft pick also get that franchise tag. Undrafted free agents, when your contract is over with, it's over with. Ain't no tag, none of that. You got to get them another contract. So they get to the and a lot of them get 1 year deals to see.
Yeah, they get to their 3rd contract.
Being on the roster, but not even that though. Some teams, I'm gonna say my Cowboys. You look at how they did Marquise Bell. Like
Yeah.
They gave him a contract to where he knew where he was going to be drafted, where he should have been drafted at. That's how Jerry Jones does it. Like, he felt like, well, you like a 4th or 5th round pick. I'm gonna give you 4th. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you 4th, 5th round money on that second contract. So that's the reason why he got the 12-year, the $12 million deal right there for the 3 years. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cool because that meant that he did something that was right. That in order for him to get that second, you know what I'm saying, to get that actual second contract, the initial contract. I think you'll see some players in the next maybe year or two that will be coming up on the second contract as an undrafted free agent. I'm looking at if he makes the NFL team, if he makes the Commanders, I'm looking at Robert McDaniel doing what he do. You do stuff on special teams. You do stuff in situational packages on defense, and you ball out and you shine out. I've guaranteed that the next year he will get that 5th round contract money that he's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, that we predicted that he should have gotten, you know what I'm saying, as a 5th round pick, right? So I'm looking at him getting a 3-year, 4-year deal, maybe like I said, worth $12 to $15 million. That's still money in his pocket. And then that signing bonus is going to be is going to be the one that, you know what I'm saying, is that signing bonus. It's just like, it's just like what
they gonna get your money back on that signing bonus,
right? They're gonna get your money back on the signing bonus, like Miss Liberty said. Like FBS players get maxed out.
Yep.
And so they get drafted and they only make the NFL. They only be in the NFL for like 3 years, 4 years. Where FCS player is that we have so much potential that we automatically, you know what I'm saying, we go out there, we bust, they bust their ass and stuff like that. They're going to get that second contract and they'll get up, they keep going out there, they bust their tail with that second contract. They'll make they'll make their third contract. Yeah.
I got a perfect example of what you're talking about right now. Christian Benford with the Bills just signed a 4-year, $69 million deal this offseason, $7.5 million signing bonus, $18.8 million guaranteed at signing. He was a 6th round draft pick in 2022, went to Villanova. He's been in the league for 4 years and just got a second contract.
That second contract is where it's at.
Because
the NFL, as we know, stands for not for long, because the majority of players don't make it past 4 years, i.e. that second contract.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so real quick, because y'all tongue wrestling in the chat for no reason at all. You do realize this is May. Let me tell y'all a real quick story. Florida State in 1999 went wire to wire. The starting quarterback, 1998, the year before they went wire to wire. The starting quarterback was not supposed to be Chris Winkie. The starting quarterback,
right?
No, the starting quarterback was supposed to be, oh my God, Dan Kendrick.
You talking about the big steroid quarterback?
Yeah. Nobody wins a single game in the spring. It don't count. This ain't the CFL. The only thing you're doing is underwear Olympics until you get to August. So it don't matter who signed yesterday or who signed last week. Until you get to fall camp, it don't matter, because last you could not tell me Junior was not going to be FAMU starting quarterback. I went to media day with that on my heart. Junior's going to be the starting quarterback. And everybody else that I talked to say, yeah, we think Junior, because of the spring game, everybody said Junior. Let me tell you something. Junior wasn't nowhere close to being the starting quarterback last year.
That spring game can be deceiving.
I knew this year, looking at that spring game, I'm not taking no stock in that spring game. That spring game is now, the spring games now are not like the spring games they was back in the day. The spring games now are nothing but to sell season tickets. They're
not going to play the starters, but 1 or 2 drives.
The transfer portal was still open during spring game.
Exactly.
So things are going to change. You can transfer out, you can transfer in, because if things ain't looking your way in spring, And
There
you
are
already
still
Mind you,
over
this
a
too. Mind you, this
thousand.
too. The transfer portal may be closed, but there are still players in the portal that can be picked up.
yeah.
Exactly. There are 1,000 players still in the portal. You think you can't get no good players out of the portal? Are you crazy? Out of 1,000,
See,
somebody's gonna be
I
good.
disagree with you there. I disagree with you there. My thing is they're in there for a reason. So how good can they be?
They might not be elite, but it's some good players still in the portal. Just like last year, it was some late portal pickups that made some noise last year.
But I tell
And
you what,
again,
you might not win any games in the spring, but you could damn sure lose a season.
oh, you
Sure
can lose
can.
the
Florida
whole
State
season.
lost
in
it
the
when
spring.
they chose DJ Ukulele as the
Ah,
starting
yeah.
quarterback in spring. The season was cooked. It was over then.
Wait a minute. So when he was at Oregon State, he went 6-5 at Oregon State, did he?
Now they were pretty good at Oregon State.
They
I'm
was
not gonna
good at
lie.
Oregon State, but
They were pretty good.
It was not Mike Norvell's offense. Whatever that offense is, it wasn't Mike Norvell's offense.
Hell,
So-
what we finna see this year ain't Mike Norvell's office, even though he's the head coach. Like, what are we doing? They brought in a whole different style quarterback that he ain't never worked with before.
Zach, I'm not gonna crash out. I'm not. You know why I'm not gonna crash out? I'm not gonna crash out.
This is not gonna be Mike Norvell's offense. This is gonna be him managing the game, and that alone should scare you.
If they line up,
They were
in
8. They were
formation
8-5.
They were 8-5.
in 5, yeah.
8-5.
He
So
still had a subpar season to me, you know.
No, he threw for like what 2,800 yards, like 18 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, something like that. He didn't have a terrible season.
How many turnovers?
Actually, he didn't have that many interceptions because they did the same thing everybody else do in Canada Junior. They ran 1,000,000 times and they play action pass.
2,600
time-
passing yards, 21 touchdowns,
See?
7 interceptions.
See what I'm saying? So yeah, no,
It
wasn't.
sounds decent.
It wasn't that
Sound
bad.
all right.
It was.
And
Listen,
that's after he got ran out of Clemson.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Outside of the quarterback who became Mr. Nasty Man, it's not a lot of quarterbacks that came out of Clemson.
Nope. Well, hold on now. We talking about the NFL or we talking about professional football in general?
I'm talking about going to the league. It's just 2.
Okay. Because Chad Kelly, he
It's
doing
just
pretty
2.
good. Chad Kelly's doing pretty good in the CFL, right? Is it Chad Kelly?
Yep.
Chad Kelly
Chad
was
Kelly.
on that team. Yeah, but they didn't do well with Chad.
No,
That's
but I'm
why-
saying
that's
you
why-
said there's not a
that's
lot
why
of who
Chad
have been
was-
successful.
But that's why Chad with the Ole Miss. Because he got in trouble, though,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah. But again,
He's been a
it's-
pretty solid quarterback in the CFL, though.
And listen, I don't know who keeps. I gotta listen. I'm buying in, so I need the fans to buy in because it starts with the individual, right? We got to stop selling these kids NFL. If the CFL is good enough for Warren Moon, who the fuck is you? Warren Moon won 5 straight Grey Cup
Grey Cups.
championships and then came to the league and lit the world on fire. Had he not gone to Houston, he would have won the Super Bowl.
I believe you on that. Yeah. you give is he giving you giving the Sealy finger?
TG, the run and shoot.
Right by
Listen,
me.
You know what it is.
but I'm just saying, the run and shoot was a great offense. It just wasn't
Everything you shall touch shall crumble.
It was a great offense, but only having Alonzo Highsmith to close games was a problem. That's all I'm
Don't
saying.
forget about Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Again, we had our hometown.
We
Homeboy.
just gonna sit here and disrespect the run and shoot. That's what we
No. I'm saying it wasn't a close. It didn't close games. You had
Quarterbacks close games,
Because you're not stopping the clock. You're not running the ball.
but we didn't have a defense.
Exactly.
Defense.
I'm about the same thing.
Now you
gotta
insult.
remember-
Hold on. You insulting SWAT coaches now.
Now
Two of them SWAT. Well, one former SWAT coach and one current SWAT coach played on that defense.
Yeah,
3 of them. No, you got
We
Trace.
ain't get the stops we needed.
Eddie Robinson.
Bubba.
Bubba,
wait.
Chris, and Eddie. It was on
Hold
all
on.
three of defense.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember Eddie.
Eddie was a linebacker.
And you
Okay,
forget
you're
we
right,
were
you're right.
battling the greatest team to not win a Super Bowl.
I am understanding all of that. I am not shooting at Warren Moon. In my personal opinion, Warren Moon deserves to be on.
No, I
the
felt
Mount
like you were
Rushmore
shooting at my
quarterbacks.
Oilers, and I don't appreciate that. I take exception, actually.
I mean, if
Hey.
the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator throwing hands on the sideline, they got to catch some smoke.
Hey, God rest Buddy Ryan. Look at that man. Let that man rest his soul. Hey, I love the
Jim
back in
Kelly
the day.
tore
I'm
our
so-
ass up. That's all
Hey,
it
look,
is. Jim Kelly tore our ass up.
Hey, I love the fact when I was, being here in Texas, man. Look, Haywood Jeffries, Wester Slaughter, Ernest Gibbons
From
you know
St.
what I'm
Pete,
saying? Hey,
from Lakewood High School, my school.
that was a trio right there, man. That was a trio.
But we don't talk about Ernest Gibbons no more. So I'm changing the subject real quick. So all right, so all of that we got a lot this season coming up. It's gonna be amazing. We'll get back to some FCS stuff, but I'm gonna take a moment. God damn, Cookman is up 5-1.
Damn. Uh-oh.
Yeesh.
It's getting dark.
Man,
Getting real dark.
I'm about to say Marlo ain't crashed out yet.
All right, so some happy news. My New York Knicks went up 2-0 last night. And I want to take this moment to tell y'all, because I have a terrible toxic trait. When I am right, I'm finna tell you I am right. If Steve Kerr didn't play that young man in the Olympics, and y'all keep telling me he's gonna be the face of the league and he's a
Hey,
superstar,
man, Steve knew.
clearly he is not. I've been telling y'all for years, the Celtics don't have no point guard. Well, they won a world championship, so they ain't need no point guard. How that worked out last night?
It was the best team in the league by a large margin last year.
And again, if they had not played Luka,
Well, no. Well,
not-
let's see. Because the Celtics run included playing a hurt Giannis.
I was just about to bring that up. TP, talk about it.
A
Talk about it.
hurt Halliburton.
A hurt Tyrese Halliburton.
What's the name got hurt too? Did they play the Knicks? Wasn't
And a
Brunson
hurt
hurt?
Jalen Brunson.
mhm.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson got hurt. OG was hurt.
It's time to have a real hard conversation about that Knicks team, that Celtics team, in particular, Jason Tatum.
I feel like they walked to the championship. I don't feel like there was much opposition because of all the injuries that occurred during the playoffs.
Wasn't Jimmy hurt in the first round too?
And
Jimmy
then
was hurt in the first round.
you go and play a Dallas team who had no role players and no point guard. But don't give me that Kyrie is a point guard because we all know that's not true. We know Lucas
He's
was
a
a chocolate
combo.
cone.
He's a combo.
He's a combo guard, and that don't count. Not in my book.
Oh,
Not
damn,
listen.
not it. Hey, it's a point guard on the thing. Point guard, he's a point guard. But I know he's always been a combo guard. He's been but
Same reason
Even all
Damian
of that.
Lillard ain't never won a championship.
But even all of that, I had to listen to pundit after pundit. I got Paul Pierce talking about he gonna walk to work if the Celtics
did.
lose a game.
He
He
did.
spent 7
He
hours
did.
walking, and I was checking in every 45 minutes to make sure he was still left to right all the way there. So
Left, right. One foot in front of the other.
They said
I'ma
when
give
he
him
wheeled his
credit.
ass into a wheel on a wheelchair.
So I'm people knew. Listen, Harkness. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this now. I want to agree with you because of the
My first
defensive
rounders.
plays. Because of the defensive plays, that's the other thing.
He ain't contributed
But y'all,
shit on the offense.
y'all talk about the Knicks like they bums.
Chill out, TP. He had a 3 here and there. He had a 3 here and there.
That man started out 0 for 6.
First off, And that's the whole thing. We got to be on fire at the beginning of the game. I would prefer us to be on fire at the beginning of the game, but we ain't got to be on fire. We just
Hey,
got to be
Jamal
close.
said, "Let me
Do
in,
you know?
coach."
Oh, my bad. My
Do y'all
bad.
think that? Do y'all think that the Knicks just played that great, or Boston laid an egg? How you
Boston's
up
losing these
20?
Well,
games.
you
The Knicks
can't
are
say
playing
that
well.
Like,
they laid 2 eggs in 2. They laid 2 eggs, 2 games right now, man. So
This
and,
is
and,
my
and,
point.
point
and both
leads?
games been close though too. So both games have been close. That last night was a 1-point victory for the Knicks. The other night, what was that? Tuesday night, we was on there. We was on here Tuesday night. It was 3-point game.
But
So
before they got close, Boston was
20
up
point
20
leads?
So check this out, though, Marlo. Check this
twice.
out. They
They up
missed
20
the
twice.
Celtics have missed 75 threes in 2 games, and they've lost by a combined 4 points. What happens when they
That's
shoot 30%
crazy.
from 3? Knicks
Oh my
lose.
goodness.
we win because we shoot over 70% from the free throw line. If we can just
Coach
hit
Mazzulla, can we
70,
call a play?
Slow the
I bet you they
game down.
wish-
You up 20. And you playing ISO ball. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like,
Marlo, they've
Nah, that-
always played
yeah,
ISO ball. What are we talking about?
That ain't
we
nothing new,
can't.
Marlo.
But you have to know how to win.
You would think that they knew how to win, but they're
They
not
know how to
closing games
lose.
out.
They know how to lose a 20-point lead.
Hey, Hart just said Boston got to drive to the hole. They don't want to. They can't. They not doing that because
They sure learned.
it get heated down there. Now one of them finna take a hit. No, they ain't going down there. That's why they shoot threes all night.
And it's crazy because Cat is soft as a pillow.
he really is. Go at that
He
man.
had 17 rebounds last night. That don't sound soft
Hey.
to me.
Why
How
Y'all
many-
be
how
the
many
wild
was
and
that?
soft.
Troy,
how many was that offensive though?
Troy, I would have had 10 rebounds with how many bricks the Celtics threw at the basket. I'm 5'9". I don't want to hear it. They took bad shots all game and they were missing them.
Oh,
What happens when the Celtics start making these shots? Because they've done it all year. That's how
You
they
sound like a
play
Celtics
basketball.
fan. You sound like a Celtics fan.
No, what I'm saying is I speak from a place of realism, right? They've missed 75 threes, but they've only lost by a total of 4 points. What
Bro,
happens
Amen.
if their 3-point percentage is higher? Do we
The Knicks-
think do we think that they're going to continue to shoot this poorly? Is that if they do, then yeah, they're going to get swept.
I
But
just
what
want to.
happens when they have an on game?
I just need everybody
but
to just.
pendulum swings both ways. They can be all that could have been their only bad shooting night, and they just walk away with the rest of the series. Or that could be the beginning of the end. You don't know.
It can go either way. It can
It
go
goes
either
either
way.
way. Pendulum no swing, bro.
But just based on what I've seen, if they find a way to close games out, they would be 2-0.
I ain't gonna lie
But-
to you, TP.
But
they got the
if
most
you have
expensive
got-
roster in the
if you
NBA.
have
They
got
should not be down
this
0-2.
If you have
They
got
do.
this late
They
into
do.
the NBA season and you have not figured out how to close games, you're not gonna start today.
Talk about it.
They did close games in the regular season. That's why they had the number 1 seed.
But
They won
number
those
two
we
seed.
said it on this
Cleveland
podcast.
Cleveland got the
Number
number 1 seed. Yeah, I'm
Number
about to
2.
say.
You're right.
Hold on.
They
We
came
said
back-
it on this
They won
podcast.
the championship last year. They came in this year. They thought they was hot shit. Cleveland was balling. Now they looking like they struggling because they don't have a couple of their key players. But at the end of the day, percentages show you that they have to shoot better. Can Jalen Brunson still do what he's been doing the entire series? And can Mikal Bridges find some offense? I still think that the series can go either way. Just because the Knicks are up 2-0 doesn't mean that they've already won the series. And I hope that they don't play like that because the Celtics have the ability to go off and have a 40% shooting night from 3. And if you shooting 45, 53s and you hitting 40% of them, it's hard to keep up with that. Just on a normal pace. So
why is Jason Tatum
the Knicks
averaging the same amount of
they have to
rebounds?
keep playing as hard as they can every game.
Jason Tatum got 14 rebounds last night, along with 13 points. Hey man, bro, you gotta. You gotta turn into Superman.
He
And
does.
then
Hold on. We
you gotta
gotta
turn into
address the
Superman.
elephant. No, we gotta address the elephant because y'all keep acting like the Celtics are just playing against themselves and ain't nobody on the court. Can we acknowledge that Tibbs changed the drop coverage? There is no more drop coverage on the pick and roll. We on top of the screens now.
They
But
switch
you
every.
should have
They
been on
switch
top
every
of the
time.
screen. You want a cookie for doing something that you should have been doing.
I'm just
Damn, Jamal.
and that's the change that is the change in the
You
game.
want to know when I learned how to stay on top of a screen? High school. These dudes make $127 million a year. And
More
you
than
can't
that.
stay on top of a screen.
Tibbs is doing what Tibbs does. He coaches defense. That's the way to beat the Celtics. You force them into taking these bad shots because they're not missing open threes. They are contested. They are contesting every three. They're pressuring the ball, and they are making it extremely difficult for the Celtics to get any real offense going outside of these bad shots.
Can we
They
talk
not
about
all wide. They not all contested.
No,
most of them are contested.
Hey, can we talk about how Porzingis still stealing their damn money, and he only been playing? He played 14 minutes
That man been
last
stealing
night.
money from everybody.
14 minutes last night.
Has robbed every team he been on.
Bro,
Did he rob Dallas too?
He robbed the Knicks. He robbed the Mavericks. He robbing the Celtics now. Yeah, he
What
just
could
go
have
ahead.
been?
He just need to go ahead and play for Utah.
Might as well.
You think about what could have been with him. Just potential. Nothing but potential.
I'm not finna feel sorry for the Celtics. They got a $500 million roster.
Yep.
600.
Yep.
Because remember,
I don't feel bad for
Tatum and Brown take up $600 million. Both of them got $300 million contracts.
You see,
they both got supermaxes.
They just sold the team for $6 billion too. So think about that too.
They finna break this up. They finna break this up.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then,
If they don't win this year, this team is gone.
I don't think there's
Way
any
too
way
expensive.
they can move Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum because they're
can't
locked
move
in.
them.
But you gonna go for everything else?
Nah. Somebody
What they gonna have to do is they're gonna have to do something because Al Horford can't bang in the paint and Porzingis can't stay healthy. They have to find a way to get a big man.
He looked real bad this series. Al Horford does not look good.
Al Horford should have just went out on top last year and just called it a day, man.
I was trying to figure out why he came back.
Them checks.
You've been playing to get a championship. You got one. Retire.
Got one.
Them checks is too good, especially after you just won one. All you gotta do is what you've been doing.
Oh yeah.
you know, I feel like I'm trying to say this gently. All this face of the league stuff, and you losing to a Golden State team that didn't have Steph. Buddy Hield should not be lighting your team up.
They up 13-0 right now.
Buddy Hield is. Buddy
Hield shouldn't be lighting your team up.
Buddy Hield can shoot that rock, boy.
He hits shots. That's what he does. He's been doing it since he was drafted. That's what he was drafted to do.
Hey, let's talk about how the Thunder just disrespected Denver like last night by 40 points.
And that wasn't 40 points. That was 40 points all game.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about it.
Oh my God.
Before we get to that, can we talk about game one? Have y'all talked about game one yet? I mean, can we talk about how incredibly bad that coaching was? I love Dagnall. He's a great coach. He's done great things for the Thunder. But like, fouling up 3, Jokic is on the bench, 10 seconds left. What are we doing?
You're supposed to dominate in that game. Jokic's on the bench, man. You're supposed to take over. That it should never been like that.
Did we just walk in the room? Oh, we just. Yeah.
Y'all should have won the game. Y'all should have won that first game though.
Bad coaching, terrible coaching at the end.
That was a crazy comeback.
It'll be a gentleman's sweep.
All right, now chill out, Marlo. Next game.
I did not see anything from Denver that is going to make me think differently. Okay, them boys outplayed them on every aspect of the game yesterday. Like that,
Oh yeah.
it wasn't even close. They
I feel
didn't
like
even look
game one. I feel like game one they still had energy from that game 7 with the Clippers, and then game 2 that fatigue really was kicking in. Them boys at OKC is young and fresh. Them Nuggets is getting a little old now.
And
I
they
just
deep.
want to say this. I just want to say this
Them
while
boys deep.
everybody singing the praises of the OKC Thunder. Y'all need to get into Chet ear and tell him to take care of his body. Because for some reason, he think it's okay to take on dunkers. You just spent a
You're
whole
getting put in
season
the
on the side,
basket.
Hey
a
man,
whole
everybody
season
get
trying to
dunked
take a
on, bro.
charge.
Everybody, you're the
and
NBA.
here's the
Everybody,
thing.
everybody gets
It-
dunked on.
You're gonna have
Even
your
the
day.
best-
it-
You gonna have
in
your
his
day. Even the
defense-
best defenders get dunked on. I don't see Kenyon Barton get his head put in the damn rim by some folks.
If-
man.
If
Go ahead,
if
Marlon.
I was 7 feet plus, I'm challenging everybody in the paint too.
That's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
I
saying.
don't
just
care
got
how-
this one
I don't
question.
care how
Just
proud
one
I am.
question.
You have to show me.
His bad decision making led to him being on the sideline for a whole year. All I'm saying is, dude, you just had LeBron push you into a whole wall and you spent a whole year on the sideline. You got to see Aaron Gordon coming. You know what? You got this dog and run back on court.
He got
I
to get
am
in the
a
gym.
firm-
He got to get in the gym.
Hey, that's you talk about, but that's LeBron though. LeBron pushed everybody into a damn wall, and make them look stupid, man.
And Aaron Gordon dunk on everybody, mama. You have to see him coming.
Yeah, we do be dunking on everybody, mama.
Hey, nah, you right. You got to know the setup. Like if you turn your head and lane wide open, just move.
Just move out the way. But
Hey,
everybody,
if you're not prepared to push him, file him, something, move out the way.
But if you
And
a shot blocker, regardless of the fact, shot blocking, they gonna test you.
Yeah.
You
Like,
can't
for
be
real, they gonna
105
test you.
pounds and be a shot blocker.
He had
100
two
and
blocks. He had 2 blocks.
He got to
last
be
night.
at least 200.
He
He's
over
7 foot tall. He
200.
got to be at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, he over 200
He,
some pounds,
he's,
man.
he's at least 200 pounds.
I
That's what
seen the
I'm saying, like-
AT&T commercial. His shoes got room in them. I seen the
They got
AT&T
that boy at
commercial.
208 on ESPN. They got him at 208.
There you go, 200.
Shit, look at
He
look
right
at him.
though.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back in the day. How the shot blockers? Look at Manute Bol. Who tried that man? That man was built like a damn bamboo stick. He's still blocking shots. Let's
And
talk
you gotta
about Sean. Talk about Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley wasn't even. Height wise, yeah, he was tall, but he wasn't.
Sean
really
Bradley got a Bible of posters on him.
I mean, look at
He
this.
was
I
7'6"
know that.
or 7'5". You don't
Chet
have
is
to be
7'1", 208.
But I'm
Manute
just-
was way over 208. Way over 208.
No, but Hartenstein is 7 foot 250.
You got 2 shot blockers, bro. One playing power, the other playing center.
When Hartenstein get dunked on, he not flying 15 feet. That's all I'm saying.
Nope.
Still though,
Nope.
you still gonna be put on somebody's poster.
That's okay.
I learned. I knew how to dunk when I was 14 years old. I was about 6 feet tall. If you dunking, I'm looking for somebody just to yam on, like for real. I'm catching, I'm catching you in the paint.
You should not be saying who there on the ground after you get dunked on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, but again, this OKC series, it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. I think it's going
I'm
6
sorry.
games.
7.
I'm sorry.
Ball game, Troy.
Bro, your high score can't be can't be Brody. Brody led the Nuggets last night in points, 19 points, coming out the bench. It cannot be Brody.
So there is a viral clip after that first game of Jokic being at the bar after the game.
Oh yeah.
If I'm going, it's 5-5. Oh, let's go.
You must have
Uh-oh.
didn't hear
Uh-oh.
Jamal.
Jamal just said that.
Oh, my bad, Jamal. I ain't here. You, man, I
I
lost my
told
whole
you I
train of
ain't
thought.
worried.
You said
If I'm gonna
how
give,
about Jokic being at the bar?
if I'm gonna give Luka the smoke, I gotta give Jokic the smoke. Now, granted, Jokic has had a way better career, and I need to give him a little bit of grace. But dog, you can't be up 1-0 and then be at the bar. That's gonna be locker room talk. That's gonna be locker room talk. Cause like, come on. Oh,
And then
That's your
you
leader,
beat
though.
by 40. Like as
And
a
it-
professional
man, get-
and playing any kind of professional sport, you are not going to beat me by no 40 points. And I'd still be on the floor. I would have been fouled out of that shit.
I'm be like
He
Jamal.
did foul
Hey,
out.
Now y'all just
I'm-
trying to show me up.
I'm gonna be like Jamal. I'm coming in feet first. I got to start a fight somewhere. Somebody
Somebody gonna have to show some fight.
Somebody got to throw some.
Somebody. They
Show-
gonna be
show-
mad at me.
Show. They got to show you some fight.
Somebody got to. 40?
Hey
Yeah,
man,
feet
that's-
first, dog.
That's
Feet
no
first on that
resistance. Like you can't,
Yeah.
you ain't running no offense, you ain't playing no defense. Well, somebody to be beating you, they were beating them by 30 something in the first half.
oh my
Yep.
god.
I think that
they
fatigue is just
scored
setting in with the
80.
Nuggets.
They scored 80 something points in the first half.
87
OKC.
NBA record.
87 points in the first half.
Well,
Hey,
What-
remember
what are we
remember when I
doing?
was talking about that old school NBA refereeing? It did not exist in this game. This need to be said. This was a
You saying they weren't calling anything, or what are you saying?
no. There was nothing to be called. Nobody was playing physical enough to call anything. This was an all gas, no brakes.
You
game.
asked the Nuggets fans. You must not have been on Twitter last night. The Nuggets fans was saying that OKC was getting all the calls. They were saying we was getting all the calls.
Yeah, they went to the line 36 times last night in that game.
I don't know. They were more aggressive. If you getting
Yeah.
beat by 40, you got to start doing something. Go to the bucket. Try to make slow the game down, so you can get more free throws and score when the clock stops. But no, y'all want to go out there
Them-
jacking threes, thinking y'all finna get back in the game and making nothing.
Both
Yeah,
teams basically went to the line over 30 times in the game last night. So it's not
Yeah.
like that they weren't calling nothing.
That's just it was
They
a
just wanna
very
talk.
up tempo game. It was an up tempo game, and I don't think Denver can play that type of game.
Absolutely
I
not.
don't think they can. Play
Then
that
you
kind of
make
game.
them play your style of game.
11
You-
more. That's
you-
all I'm saying. 11 more. 11 more.
So, did she make it? All right. I apologize. I am locked into this SWAC losers bracket tournament game with FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. Media Troy is very interested in the narrative of the fact that the SWAC East completely ran through the tournament after Prairie View A&M and a few other SWAC schools got all of the postseason awards. The coach of the year got bounced out of the tournament in 2 losses. So,
Can I ask y'all a question?
yeah.
Y'all might have already talked about this. Did y'all see Tremaine Jackson's requirements to get recruited by him at Prairie View A&M?
Oh yeah, we saw that. And my first question was, if you don't have a blue check mark, you may not get the notification in a timely manner.
What if I got
So now-
work and I'm working for the 4 hours that you DM me on?
So you don't block me because I didn't get the Twitter notification. And I don't have any problem with a coach having a set of standards in
Right.
this transfer portal era. I do have an issue with coaches being hypocritical in their stances on the transfer portal era. You want it to be that the recruits are coming to you and not you sweating them. It is a symbiotic relationship. You should sweat each other.
I need you, you need me.
If you don't have NIL set up at your school, it's okay. You can tell the players, hey, we don't have NIL set up right now. This is what we can offer. It does not need to be an adversarial situation. The players say, hey, what do you offer in NIL? Or I require this. That's not an adversarial situation. Hey, we don't have that. That's cool.
But
Have a nice day.
if that's the first thing a player is asking for, I get where he's coming from in that. That shouldn't be
I'll
your
be
focus.
turned off.
You're coming
I'll
here
be turned
because-
off on that too.
My
Yeah, I'll be
pastor
turned off on
told
that.
me, my pastor told me, how you preaching God to somebody that's hungry? I gotta understand that kid ain't where I'm at. We as
Well,
fans,
obviously you're transferring because you weren't getting the NIL money you wanted at your other school. Why
I
are
hear
you
what
coming
you're
to exactly
saying.
what he said? Why are you coming to us asking for
I
that?
hear what you're saying, but we as fans have a lot in coaches and support staff and all that. We non-kids have a lot of expectations and standards from our positions of paid bills and vacation funds. So I got to understand that some of these players are now in this situation because of the situation that the Power Five and the NCAA created. If we don't have year over year over year of players like Peter Ward jersey selling on a Saturday for $200,000 and he not making $80 a month because he can't have a job, there's a problem. It's been a problem.
I'm not gonna lie, man. There's a lot of money going to these players these days. You got the Alston Award. A lot of schools are doing cost of attendance. You got your scholarship check. I mean, outside of NIL, these guys are taken care of. I promise you. I promise you they're taken care of.
Nah, you're right.
I'm not gonna put nobody's situation out there. The rent in Tallahassee now, as opposed to when I was there, that cost of attendance. Like we had a whole house for what, $600, Marlo? A 3-bedroom house for $600.
My goodness.
Well, I wish I was go back to having a house for
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, what?
3-bedroom.
You can't get a closet in Tallahassee for $600.
You shit.
So it's different. So and again, it took me a while to get here. I wasn't here first. It took me a while to put all the pieces together because I was like, I want the players to have NIL, but some of these numbers I'm hearing is crazy. And then here go the thing. The average NIL deal is $35,000. This way they're
you
not
see the
telling
big
you.
numbers.
Yeah, you won't see
They're
them.
getting those big numbers.
There are
And
collectors
you know what?
that
You
are,
want to know something I heard this offseason? You want to know something I heard this offseason from a source? They were saying that a lot of these deals that are being reported that these guys are signing, they're incentive based. So if they don't end up starting, they're not going to get that money anyway. So
and the reason you don't hear about these deals is because they're illegal in scope and they're a violation of NCAA rules. That's why you don't. There's an attorney, and I can't remember his name right now, that I've been following every little step. I follow him, and he said one of the board members of this sports council is pushing for transparency in NIL deals.
there needs to be transparency. If I don't know what he's getting over there, how can I offer him a fair deal over here? That's exactly how it's done in the NFL.
But you know what,
and in
though?
the NBA.
But you know what, though? That's the reason why old buddy from Boise State, the running back from Boise State, said, look, the NIL just nothing but pocket change. That just get your family right. You know what I'm saying? You can take care of your family. It's about that second contract when I get to the NFL that's going to have me set, you know what I'm saying, set for a long time.
Y'all see what he signed today?
Man.
4 years, $35 million, fully guaranteed, $22 million signing bonus.
Genty
today.
That's what's up.
Oh my God. He making more than Saquon?
I need him.
They said, or no, I think he's right behind Saquon. I think Saquon's the only back making more money than him.
Ooh,
that's because those top 10 picks are getting paid more.
They're getting paid.
I need him to run for 1,800 yards. I need him to run for 1,800 yards. If he runs for 1,800 yards this year, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Y'all got an offensive line?
No.
We drafted some people.
TP's face.
We're drafting some people.
No,
But-
they don't.
But if, you know what, Marlo, don't do that. Don't do that.
You act like I'm lying. You say y'all don't have offensive line.
Don't
Hey,
do
y'all,
that.
I mean, I got Gino.
I'm saying if I was making something up, then you the one said that your
I just-
team don't have offensive line.
I said
Why ain't y'all
our
draft
team.
Shador? Why ain't y'all draft Shador?
Are we gonna talk about this? So
Might as well.
I ain't talked to you. I'm sure y'all have already talked about it. I haven't got to hear what you had to say about it. But why y'all gonna pass on the man?
What's public right now is what happened with the Giants, and if that has been indicative of what he's been doing,
Yeah.
I'm okay with where he was drafted. But the
Yeah.
story is that the Giants gave him a playbook. In said playbook, there was a bad install, and he didn't catch it. And because he didn't catch it, he had an attitude. Let me tell you something about being a programmer, right? If you miss a bug, people get fired. You can't miss details when, as a quarterback, your job is attention to detail.
And then to get angry. My thing is then to get angry at the coach for putting him in. No, man, hold yourself accountable. You didn't look at the install. Just be real with us.
I would have been more would have come of him saying, you know what, I missed that, my bad, whatever. People are okay with you taking accountability for your mistakes than coming off as arrogant in your mistakes.
And then you want to point blame like, damn, why y'all put it in there? No, why didn't you do what we told you to do and look at the install?
And I tell people this all the time.
That's
being
part
a black
of being
quarterback. Yeah, being
Yep.
a black quarterback is different than just being a quarterback. You hold a whole set of standards that a lot of other people don't hold.
Yep.
So,
But then again,
And you
this
Deion's
is-
son.
But then again, this is the Giants. Let's speak on it because remember the Giants don't draft
Terrible.
QBs.
Yeah.
okay, well,
Terrible.
let's take that aside.
I don't think that
The
matters.
Raiders-
I don't think
I
that
mean, I
matters.
don't think that matters either. But at the same time, you still
because the 1 and 2 on the roster right now are both black QBs. So I don't know.
yeah, but they didn't get what the thing is. They didn't get drafted by the team. They just came in at free agency.
Yeah, because they had Tyrod Taylor before too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Tom Brady did an interview and he was asked directly, why did Shador fall so far? And basically asking why didn't the Raiders, because you can't ask him why didn't
Yeah.
the Raiders draft him, but ask why he fell so far. I have never seen Tom Brady tap dance so fast around an issue.
Because he likes Shador.
That's his.
He
Shador
liked
is a
Shador,
role model.
and then he told the lie that he was not involved in the draft process. We
Come on,
all
Tom.
know, by all reportings, he was heavily involved in
Because
the
they
draft
said
process.
they said he liked Cam Miller, and they said that was one of the reasons why they grabbed Cam Miller is because Tom Brady gave him the stamp of approval. So I'm not buying that, Tom. I'm not buying that.
So again, Shador did something in that interview that made Tom Brady not want to draft him. And Tom Brady has been quote unquote grooming him since the word go.
He has quote unquote been not listening then. Because there ain't no way you got that install and didn't look at it, man. Come on now. That's my thing with the Shador situation is I think Dylan Gabriel shouldn't have, I don't care what he did. Dylan Gabriel shouldn't have went before him. Tyler Shuck shouldn't have went before him. Jalen Milroe shouldn't have went before him. But the way he treated the pre-draft process, not working out at the Combine, not working out at the Senior Bowl, not working out at the Shrine Bowl, like he just made it seem like he was better than the process the entire way through. Why is that anybody we want to bring in here?
I was at the Shrine Bowl. Him or Cam was. I mean, Cam came in, and Shador was basically in street clothes talking to the NFL Network the whole time.
Let me tell
you, and he, you over there, you watching Shiloh and your other receivers that that played in that game.
Yep,
like he did not. He said he wasn't gonna throw, but he took private. He had a private session with him and Cam and that the QB coach that he has right there, that he went to go throw and stuff like that. But other than that, he didn't.
I'm gonna tell you that there's this mental condition called delusions of grandeur, and that's what happened to him because he believed that he was better than what he was already perceived.
He
to
wasn't
be.
even the best quarterback in the Big 12.
He
Who
wasn't.
was better?
The team that won the conference. He wasn't better than the BYU.
Sam Levitt at
Yeah.
ASU.
Sam Levitt is in the Big 12, and I
Yeah.
would take Sam Levitt any day.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Look,
don't
my
think-
Longhorns had to go against Sam Levitt. When I tell you he gave us the hardest game of the year,
Oh, he gave y'all
he,
hell.
well, he took
Yeah.
he took us to the brinks. Our
And
people
What's the
Scannable.
QB?
And
What's the
Scannable.
QB? What's the QB name at Texas Tech? Damn, what's his name? But
He must be a young guy.
he was an older guy. But I forgot his name. But he was getting ready to try to torch Colorado, and I think they stopped the run, so they became one-dimensional in that game. But you look at some of the quarterbacks in the Big 12. I don't think Forrest.
You talking about Morton?
Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah, Baron Morton.
Baron
Morton?
Morton.
Morton. Yeah.
Mhm.
I never heard of him.
Oh, he's
he's decent. Sawyer. What's the QB name for Baylor? Sawyer. Sawyer Robinson.
Sawyer Robinson. I like Finn. I can't wait to see Finn get out there, and that's the backup for Baylor. He athletic. He can throw that rock.
And TCU wasn't on the downslide. I mean, I think the QB there would have, gave him some fits too. Like, hey, it's Big 12 is always been a QB league.
Yeah.
Did they just turn a double play?
Yes, they
Did
did.
they just? I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm watching it. I'm looking at it just like you.
It's a big game. It's definitely a big game. Now we're gonna take a real quick break. We'll be right back, and we're gonna go to some hear me out, because I need somebody to hear me out, because sometimes I be talking crazy, but I just need y'all to hear me out. And I could be wrong, but it looks like the Dallas Mavericks is tired of Luka being out of shape. And it's got to be some video out there, him kicking baby seals, because them trading him cost him $160 million. So, somebody's upset.
So Luka was kicking baby seals out there, bro. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. You gonna have Petey out there on Luka? Ooh, I still tell you that take that the heat off of Nico Harrison, but he's still getting that smoke though for just trading him.
Oh yeah, he forever gonna get smoked for that.
He gonna get smoked.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. Watching him in the playoffs last year, the finals last year, watching him this year in the playoffs, like, I can't summarily say I can't say that he was wrong. I can't say that he was 100% wrong.
I'll say this. So today, Nico Harris fired his strength and conditioning and performance staff. All of them. So just hear me out for a second. So if you're Nico Harris and there is a glaring problem with players being healthy, the first thing you do is you take a top to bottom look at everything that's going on. And the easiest thing to spot is the biggest star being the most out of shape. And I think there was conversations that were had, I'm almost sure ESPN reported, he was asked on several occasions to stop drinking beer, to eat healthy, less partying.
Why? I'm a first-team All-Pro.
Because it is your job to be in shape.
You're right.
I can't say that because let's go back in history, because Michael Jordan black ass was out there partying, playing 18 rounds of golf,
Oh,
smoking
yeah.
cigars, drinking
Gambling.
12 packs
Still-
of big, gambling, and still putting 45 fucking
and-
points on everybody. I don't want to hear that, man.
And
I'm a first
still
team all bro. I'm playing
in
devil's
shape.
advocate. I'm the best player in the I'm one of the top 5 in the NBA. Why would I change anything?
But that's the other thing. We talk about delusions of grandeur, right?
Yeah.
Is he really the top 5 in the NBA?
He for sure top 10. He for sure top 10, top 15 for sure. For sure.
And listen, I can respect all of that. But like I tell everybody, the NBA, the NFL, NHL, MLS, it's still a job.
Yeah.
And if your boss asks you, I need you to do X, Y, and Z.
But is the strength and conditioning staff gonna cut me? No.
No, strength and conditioning staff ain't gonna cut you. But the boss that asks you, hey, I need you, and then it shit roll downhill, as they say. If the boss go to the strength and conditioning staff and say, hey, I need y'all to get this dude to buy in and get in shape, and they can't do it, and you bring in an asset that gets hurt immediately, yeah, we got to have some conversations.
Yeah, with AD, and then also had Derek Lively out for a couple of months, and then you had Daniel Gafford
Kyrie
out for some, and Kyrie, and then you had Dwight Powell. Like the whole team was a walking mass unit for like
Can
2
you
months.
put AD on the strength staff though? AD been like that.
I'm saying if you are an executive and you trying to get a grip on why my players keep getting injured, and I bring in a new player from a whole different system, and immediately he walks in the door and he injured, I got to look at everything, because now I got to explain to my boss why we keep having players hurt. Because at some point,
Maybe they didn't do their due diligence. Maybe they didn't do their due diligence in the physical.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't do their due diligence. I'm sure that they had so much. They had enough with Luka, the same way the Pelicans have had enough with Zion. They have had enough.
Oh man. I wish Zion could get it together, man. I wish he could get it together.
Zion just needs to leave out of New Orleans, though.
Oh yeah,
like,
the
for real,
food too good out there.
He got to get out of New Orleans.
He's gonna have to go to Utah. He's gonna have to go to Utah. He like too many porn stars. He got to go to Utah.
Yeah, they gotta keep him. They gotta keep him out the streets, huh?
Hey, he go up to Milwaukee. Ain't no clubs up there in Milwaukee.
But it's listen. It is too many women that look like him. No, he need to go to Utah.
Yeah, but no, go to Utah, man. Tell him to go to Sacramento. Ain't shit out there either.
Are you crazy?
San Fran right down the street. San Fran right down the street.
No,
Oakland.
he can't. He has to go to exile. He needs to go to exile where he can just focus.
You know
on
who they sent up to Utah? NBA young boy. That boy couldn't stay out of trouble. They sent his ass to Utah. That's what they need to do. Zion.
So it is.
Since you talk about NBA young boy,
oh Jesus!
I know we put this. I put this in the chat.
Pickens
for my Cowboys, NFL young boy.
Oh man,
coming to the Cowboys.
So
I hope it works. I hope it works.
No. What happens when the Steelers trade their problem children to other teams? I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm a Steelers fan. I mean, I'm a Raiders fan. We had a young dude from the Raiders that I'm from the Steelers that I just knew. Knew he was. No, not him. We had one before him. Him. Yeah, Martavius Bryant. I just knew he was gonna come in and ball out. I don't remember him being on the field.
Nope.
Because he couldn't stop smoking weed.
Yeah.
That was before they were. That was when they were still serious about the weed and stuff.
Yeah, and then AB.
I just CTE. That's all.
AB had a Hall of Fame career until the very end and ruined it.
AB
he's still a Hall of Famer. I think he's still a Hall of Famer.
Still easily get in.
They just not gonna put him in there because of what he did.
That hit by Vontaze Burfict just knocked
it did something.
All his knocked all his.
He got rewired.
It did something.
I just
I
all I
will
know
say though, there's
is
people who have played on teams with AB. Everybody talks about how smart he is, how intelligent he is. Like he really not like dumb. Like
No, he was a
puts
great
on.
football player. He was a great
I'm
football
saying just
player,
like
very
and
smart
now, like they
football
talk about
player.
how smart he is now, and
Yeah.
how it just like it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense what he does because he's actually an intelligent guy.
Yeah,
they
he's just a
said this
crash out.
man.
His noodle got knocked out, and then he got that money. That's what it was right there.
He's
yeah.
a certified crash out.
Put that shit on.
I am trying to here to tell you that as much as I hope he gets it together, I have seen too much from Steeler crash out wide receivers
Yeah.
to be too hopeful.
What happens that
And
game
then
where he
you
doesn't
put-
get a catch?
Oh my God.
I gotta go, boys.
All
All right,
TP.
you have a
Alright,
good one, DB.
Well,
He
what
is
if
gonna
the thing? But
swing
what if
on
you
the
talk about
coach.
this? Like, let's talk about this. Let's put this in perspective. Now the Cowboys, we got can I say a legit number 2 wide receiver for CD Lamb?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now,
On paper, yes.
On paper, yes. Now, if he don't get his catches, this man gonna come out there with the shiesty. We already in a state where it's open carry, so he might as well just go ahead and crash out. You know what I'm saying? We might as well shoot.
Yes, let's think about this. It's a contract year for him. Where is his money coming from? They just paid CD. Dak's making $60 million. Got to put some money in that offensive line. Micah got to get paid too.
Oh
Where
well,
is his
no,
money
they
coming from?
redid those. They redid CDs and Dak's contract, so they get the money on the back end.
Okay.
They get the money on the back end. That Jerry Jones is known for that shit right there for like the last couple of years.
He needs to retire, man.
Ain't no retire. Don't get me started on this. Bury that man. Gonna send
Man.
flowers.
Hold on.
Let me go ahead and unbury that mom. Dig his mama up. Tell her to put that black dress on. So we go ahead and bury Jerry Jones. Send flowers to Highland Park.
Jerry.
Yes, the views of the panel don't reflect the views of Fat Mouth Sports or HBCU Overdrive. We know that, Troy.
I have to put that up there because like we trying to get advertisers now. So
I just wish Jerry would leave the Cowboys alone, man. Like they don't. You are bad for the Cowboys. You're bad for business. This man said they bringing people in the facility while the players is working out to show them that basically like it's a zoo. We showing our players. Look at our players working out.
That's I know all of y'all saw. I know all y'all saw that video with him and Jamie Foxx.
I seen that bullshit. Don't tip me, Jamal. Don't tip me, man. I seen that. I was like, man, just bury both of them up.
Wait, was that the one where he was talking about? Was that the one where he was talking about the meat?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I say, well, we know what type of time Jerry on. We know what this about for Jerry.
Listen, man, Jerry had an illegitimate child out there for like 20-something years and was trying to act like it wasn't a thing.
And she black. That's the wild part.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
That's the reason why Jimmy Johnson supposedly got fired from the Cowboys. That man walked out and said, I ain't trying to deal with this bullshit no more.
Oh,
but of course. But that is again.
And Bill Parcells.
That is again. Jerry Jones is going to run that franchise the way he want to run that franchise, and I completely understand it. I just don't want him to expect to have long-term success.
Bro, somebody got
short-term success.
Bro, if somebody come out with some money right now, is that so the last billionaire to buy a damn franchise was Josh Harris, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the Commanders. He worth $6 billion. If somebody got $10 billion for the Cowboys, motherfucker, Jerry is biting on that.
He not gonna do it. He love the Cowboys too much.
He's not gonna sell that team.
Man, please. For $10 billion?
He wouldn't sell it.
He ain't got no other
He
choice.
wouldn't do it, man.
I
I
force
don't
his
think he would
ass
do it.
out.
He's too old. Money don't mean nothing to him no more. He
No,
doesn't
he
need
would.
money.
The
No,
Cow,
money
but like,
means something still
no,
because
it means something. But the Cowboys are like his personal fucking action figures.
Yep.
He literally gets to wheel and deal and do what he wants. This is like this. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys is like somebody with the with Legos and fucking Marvel men. That's why he's not gonna sell it. He like he living out his childhood dream with real life action figures. He ain't selling that to you.
I don't think he necessarily needs to sell the team. I just think he needs to get out the way. Hire a GM, have somebody run the team. Let Steven be the owner. You just get the hell out the way. Like you're doing too
get your
much and
money.
you're not helping the team.
But see, here's the thing. His basic job was, first of all, put the Cowboys back on the map as far as being America's team and putting them back in the spotlight. He's done that.
Yep.
Second of all, win the Super Bowls. He's done that. Third of all, make them the highest grossing franchise ever, and he has done that tenfold.
Yep.
That's why I'm saying if he's going to die. Either he's going to die as the owner and president and general manager of the Cowboys, or a billionaire, somebody who's gonna toss a like Steven gonna toss a system to him. Look, man, look, this man give you $10 billion for the Cowboys. You might as well go ahead and take it, ride your ass off in the sunset. Like, for real.
The reason, and here's another reason why I know he's not gonna sell it. The only people with money like that right now are the Arabs and people from the Middle East. He ain't selling that team to them.
Steve Ballmer got
Yeah.
money.
Oh yeah.
Unless
Steve got his own issues right now.
The only person he might consider selling that team to, and I don't even think he had the money no more, is the Starbucks dude.
Talking about
Schultz.
Yeah,
Kyle Schultz.
yeah.
That's the reason why. But that's the reason why he sold.
The
Yeah.
state Seattle.
Yeah, he had the
Mhm.
Seahawks, and then he also
He had the Blazers too, right?
Yeah, the Blazers.
Yeah, the Blazers, and they was trying to get the Supersonics back, but that's what I'm saying with what they got
They
going
not for
on
sale.
right now. He ain't what the C. No, I think he just wanted the name back. Like, and I don't blame him. Like, you can keep the team and toast it, but at least let me buy the name back and the name rights back. I agree with that.
I wish the team
They
was in
just-
Tulsa.
They just need to put.
Basically what Charlotte the Hornets did. Basically,
Yeah,
when
what the Hornets did.
Oh, like name flip, like a name
You
flip.
rename the New Orleans the Pelicans, which makes more sense for them to be the Pelicans, and then you let Charlotte get the name back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
because they used to be the Bobcats, right?
Yeah.
But that was when BET Man had them, and then he sold them, and did he sell them?
he sold them.
Yeah, he sold them.
He sold them, and then they got moved.
Remember, he sold them.
No,
he
he
sold
sold them.
He sold it to Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan bought it, and then they became the Hornets.
Yeah, they did the name flip.
The name flip, and basically Jordan got bought out. And they said,
he sold them. He sold them again.
He sold them.
He sold them. He sold them.
He sold them and said, "Man, you don't need to be no goddamn owner no more. Sit your ass out."
But that's why. That's my case study when people like, oh, such and such need the coach. Now hell, look at Jordan. He can't even put together a functional team.
You can't have a dude that can beat your starters one-on-one and then think he's gonna put together a good franchise. So
he don't respect them.
Every now and then,
he called all of those scrubs.
Every now and then, you see stories that just make no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sources are reporting that Manny Pacquiao is going to come out of retirement.
Come on, man. Leave it alone.
I say that shit.
Nah, he needs some more money to ban abortion in his home country. That's all that's about.
We don't need to see that.
But I think that's why he's coming out of retirement and trying to make another political run.
Or why did we have to see Canelo try to fight somebody who was dancing around the whole time Saturday, bro. I watched 3 minutes of that damn boxing match, and I was like, you know what?
Who
If
the
this
hell
was
did
back
he
in the
fight
early
for?
90s, in the 80s and the 90s for a pay-per-view, I'd have asked for all my goddamn money back.
Man,
You guys see
but
Raleigh and Ryan Garcia?
And Ryan Garcia,
oh no,
he said
I did not see that.
That fight was so sorry. So sorry.
There are no like. I hate to be the one to bash on combat sports. There are no great fights that we are dying to see right now.
I want to
I
see
want to
Shakur
see.
and Tank. I want to see Tank fight everybody. I want to see Tank and Devin Haney. I want to see Tank and Shakur. I want to see
I
Tank and Boots Ennis.
I want to
And
see
Bud.
Canelo versus Crawford.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bud got
They
somebody.
just signed that, right? They
Bud
signed in
That's
September,
is,
right?
that
Bud
really
is,
ain't gonna be as good a fight as you think.
Why?
Crawford is head and shoulders better than anybody that is possibly out there to challenge you.
cause
Like
what
head
he
and
did,
shoulders.
cause what he did to EJ here, oh my God,
That
I'm
was
like, God
not
damn,
funny.
what he did to EJ, bro, I was like, I'm bad. I'm from Oak Cliff. I feel bad this dude represent my damn neighborhood like this. I'm
Yeah, that
like,
man
come
face
on,
looking
no.
crazy.
Bro, he looked like Martin on the damn episode when he fought Tommy Hearn.
No,
If
the,
y'all
the fight can't be
if
over.
y'all just
Like,
watch this dude fight, man, he is literally I ain't seen nothing like it since maybe Mayweather, but he is a tactician with power. Like he will make you pay for throwing some bullshit at him.
I'm gonna say
And
this.
he
I
does
wouldn't want to
it
fight somebody who took a
like
bullet to the head.
every time.
I'm just
It's gonna have to take
no,
that.
I'm
no,
just
that's
saying though, like for real, like what he did, man, what he did to EJ, I was like, you know what, shit, you can
Have
have
we
it, bro.
seen him? Have we seen him since that butt fight?
No,
Hell
we have
no,
not.
no. The next time you go, I'm gonna tell you like this: the next time you gonna see EJ, his ass might be in court for what's going on for the the shit with Yellow Bees and Mo3.
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah.
Because in a sense they was the theory is out. Theory is saying like, well, Beasley they had that kind of money like that, and the only other person who had money like that is EJ. They both can't come, but EJ he's born in Oak Cliff, but he lives in DeSoto, but he's the only one that could give you $40,000 for a hit on Mo3 on the freeway.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now, bro.
True,
And you
but
don't think
if
this
my
dude?
homeboy
And you
called
don't
me
think this
and asked
nigga ain't gonna call? You think he ain't gonna call it out? Like, bro, yeah, I got paid 40 G's to take out Mo because
all
he
of
don't
that
want
is
to do all
still
that
wild,
time.
bro. All of
that
that is still wild, bro. Like what
yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, like
Yellow Bees
it's
really had Mo 3. Boy, what?
man, bro. And the reason and the crazy thing is that Trap Boy Freddy is protecting Yellow Bees like that because Trap Boy go everywhere, anywhere he want to go. But it's gonna be a fun time in the city when everything goes into court.
Man, this is
So
dope all over again.
so I'm gonna move off of that because
Yeah, that's new school rapping right there.
yeah, but I ain't gonna move too far away from that. So I finally saw the Untold Shooting Guards video
Mm.
on Netflix. And for those who don't know,
Is that like a documentary?
it was a
Yeah,
documentary with Javaris Crittenton and Gilbert
Arenas.
Arenas,
Oh, I want to watch that. I want to watch that.
famous drug toting. So there are things in this video that were not made known then. It now makes sense why David Stern suspended them for the remainder of the season. But at the time, it made no sense.
Yeah.
And I'll say, since you ain't seen it, I ain't gonna spoil it for you. But I'll say this: I now understand why Gilbert Arenas' career went the way it did. It wasn't
Went
all
down
about.
here afterwards.
It wasn't all about his injured knee. I can tell you that for sure now.
It was
wasn't
him.
all. It was him. It was 100% him. And
I mean,
we talk
nobody be
about
surprised by that.
we talk about young men being raised in single mother parent homes. Young men being raised in single father parent homes also have an issue as well.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
In this documentary, it is. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting some highway bullshit because it was Gilbert Arenas, but it went through their entire course of existence and how they came to that one pivotal point.
Wow. I need
And
to watch that. I saw
You
that
bring
the other day. I
your.
want to watch
You
that.
said you brought your gun to the. You brought your gun to the gym. I bring mine.
Gilbert brought 2 guns to the arena. Apparently, at the time, Gilbert had 40 guns in his house that he brought from Arizona to Atlanta.
Was he in the streets?
He was not in the
Gilbert
streets.
No.
He was just
Gilbert is
collecting guns. He was just
I say
collecting guns.
Gilbert is a valley dude. He is from the valley in California, LA.
And Javaris wasn't necessarily in the streets until he got to LA either. When he got to
they
LA,
said Javaris, he got put on by a set.
yeah. So, and all of this, Javaris' entire life spiraled out of control over some goddamn jewelry.
Wow.
And he went to the pen. Then he went to the pen for
He did 10
killing
years.
somebody, right? 10 years for killing somebody.
He was shooting at one person, but he hit a bystander in the thigh.
Damn. These men be having so much money, man. Like, and I know it's easy to speak on the outside looking in, but damn, man, these men be so blessed. They got all the money, all the opportunity, man, and it's just sad.
But if you really think about it, Gilbert, even when Gilbert be on the podcast, he tell you like, look, yeah, when he was at when he was coming out for the NBA, he didn't take shit serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
He took nothing Gilbert took nothing serious. That's the reason why he was drafted where he was, and he had to fight to get the money that get the place where he got. It just happened when he got to DC that he became that dude. He became Hibachi. He became AG0. You know what I'm saying? What we know. And it's so crazy the fact that after all that stuff, Adidas still give you a lifetime contract and you ain't got to worry about anything now. Your son, Elijah, glad that he's 5-star, glad that he's doing well now. Is when he gets out of school, when he leaves USC, that boy is gonna be signed to Adidas, just like you. Like, I hope, when I watch that podcast, I'm like, okay, Gilbert, you got your son Elijah. Kenyon Martin had KJ, you know what I'm saying? Those dudes right there, I hope y'all tell y'all sons don't do no ignorant shit that we did when we was in the league.
Well, I'll tell you like this. When you come out, and Marlo can attest to this too, when you come out a place of poverty, once you get to a place where your family is comfortable, your kids don't understand struggle.
Nope.
That is true. That is true.
And so I wish mine would talk about like he was back in South St. Pete. I will stomp holy hell out of them.
Or like Marvin, what's his name? Playmaker's son, rapping about being from the streets.
I'm talking about Michael Irvin's son.
Yeah.
No, that's just I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just like Deion Jr. with Bucky. Like, he talking about he from the street, bro. you were born in Atlanta, you moved to Dallas. All them other kids that Shador, Shiloh, Shalomi, all of them are trust. He just told them, all y'all trust fund babies. Ain't none of y'all been in the streets like I have. That's and you didn't have to experience the type of growing up that I had to do because, like you said, yeah, my pops was an alcoholic and shit like that. You ain't got to deal with that, but you know, now you dealing with a man that's an almost damn near narcissist, but that's just who he is. But at the
I
same
tell
time,
people
but I
this.
get what you're saying though.
It's over. It's over. Yes.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Fam
What's
won the
go?
game
What's go?
6-5.
What's go?
6-5, fam.
6-1. 6-5, yeah.
Hoo.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Look at my face.
Boy, the
But yeah,
cardiac rap was an
Do I ever
anti.
look? Do I ever look like I was worried?
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. The catcher come in and say she done saved the game twice this season.
She did her job.
Every time, bro.
yeah, but you know, kids don't know. Sometimes kids don't know what the struggle is because when we grew up, our parents shield us from looking at the struggle. We just seen struggle when we walked out that damn house, though. Too, you know, it ought to be in a high, like I said, it ought to be how you grow up.
I'm gonna put it this way. I have a nephew. Well, I have two nephews actually. One played college football for Maryville up there in Tennessee. He from Memphis. Boy lived in Memphis his whole life.
We already know what Memphis is about.
And guess what? He has never seen the inside of a jail cell. Never.
Yeah.
He has never been in trouble. He might as well be a goddamn Eagle Scout, All American boy. Everybody love him. He working on his master's in public health right now. I have another nephew, and that nephew in Memphis, his daddy was in the Navy, so his dad was not around a lot. My sister pretty much raised him and my niece by herself, cause my brother-in-law was in and out. My other nephew grew up. Me and him grew up in the same small town. My brother, and my sister-in-law have been married. That boy, 28. They have been married for 25 years.
Wow.
So he grew up in a two-parent household. He's an only child, got his own room, never wanted for anything, been to prison.
Amen.
So sometimes it's
Sometimes,
kids. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you can expose a kid to all things good,
yep,
and they still gonna look at that other side like it's worth having.
man.
Oh man. I find it, like I said, I find it interesting. Just find it real, real interesting how we have the ability to change our life and we choose to make bad decisions. And I'm not gonna harp on that because there's some other stuff we need to get to before the end of the show. But this has been on my heart for about a week now. And at this point, PV softball coach need to hand his award to Coach Bill.
Damn.
Because, and don't get me wrong, I get it. They had this wonderful record. But no. Coach Bill
And they
got off
losing
the
the tournament or
bus.
something.
They got
out.
bounced.
They bounce. They go home.
They got bounced. They make it to
75% of the all SWAC first team softball is heading back to Loman right now. Not Loman, Perryview right now.
It's headed back to Alta Vista Plantation. Yes.
Yep. Yes, they are. They
So,
on the bus quiet as church mouse. Check out was
I'm
that
not-
lit.
and please understand, if you're a PV fan, I'm not saying this out of malice. This is not out of disrespect. That award should go to the most deserving coach who has the number one seed in the East. We can all agree, man, you had the best strength of schedule, best RPI. They played the number 15 and the number 2 team in the nation. What are we
And
talking
scored.
about? and scored. They played in the Florida State tournament and played Texas Tech. What are we talking about? This, let me take my glasses off because I like my glasses fogging up. This shit pissed me off so bad. FAMU has won every single way you could win. They need to score a lot of runs tonight. They scored 6 runs. They won 1-0. They won 3-2. This is in the tournament. This coach, maybe it's because I don't know why. I don't know why there's a disrespect of this lady. There should not be any disrespect to this lady. She paid her dues for what she said on the show, 18 years in high school, coaching high school baseball.
And built the team out of nothing. In 18 years, and took the same team to junior colleges and was beating them with high schoolers.
We not talking about no regular person. This ain't no regular coach. So I'm so mad. And I love all things swag. But this award, this is worse than my first media day. There is absolutely no reason why this lady was disrespected like that. None. Because
I told you on Tuesday the reason. Like we the newcomers to the SWAC. In all fairness to the SWAC, they're not just finna go hand out these awards especially to a rookie coach, even though she has a very good resume. They're not just finna get that award away. But
Mullo, hold on. You are an alum.
Moving
FAMU
forward,
softball been like that though.
they have,
What?
but not in the SWAC. We've been running the MEAC for
No,
millennia.
but Marlo, it wasn't even really the MEAC. Coach Wiggins had PWI shit.
Yeah, because Coach Wiggins was Tuesday lady man.
She
Like,
used to
what do we-
routinely take a squad across the track and beat them on their whole turf.
Yeah,
She's the reason why
Absolutely.
Florida State had to get like they are now.
Yeah, because they
what
could
a-
not beat them.
Like,
And what's wild is the head coach from them teams that she beat was at the ceremony when they named the field after. So even Gainesville got the Bootskins got the way they were because they couldn't beat her either. So
Coach Wiggins was when I was in school, like I had her for a class. It was different. It was just different. Her mentality was different. Her knowledge of the game was different. Like she could sit there and tell you every single thing that's going on with every single part of that program.
Yep.
Every single part of it.
And this is just my little diatribe. We're gonna get back to some FCS football real quick, but that needed to be said because I reach out to every SID in the SWAC. Conveniently enough, I haven't heard back from Bethune.
That's
But I
cause
reach
of
out-
Marlo.
I wonder why. Fuck them. Keep not returning the calls and emails. No, I don't give a shit.
Anyway, so but
Y'all
I don't
never
want
up the
anybody.
street.
I don't want anybody to feel like this is me being FAMU biased. It's not. The entire
me.
East was head and shoulders above. No, and please understand. I know some games was close, and you get caught up in the game was close. These girls get scholarships too. They put on their pants one leg at a time too. But at the end of the day, the results shows the entire West got bounced.
Yep.
There are no more West teams.
I told you on Tuesday, the East is running the SWAC. Like it ain't even close.
I'm about to stay on this diatribe because it just dawned on me. Bethune-Cookman bounced the number 1 seed from the West.
Yep.
Bethune-Cookman. The one we joke about don't have facilities. the one we joke about that Ed Reed trashed them on for a whole week straight. That Bethune-Cookman. Bounce Prairie View A&M. Who, correct me if I'm wrong, it's part of the Texas A&M University system. Am I wrong on
Who was that? Was that?
PV is part of the Texas A&M University system, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So they got more resources than Bethune-Cookman, correct? Am I wrong?
Super correct.
Okay. By the way,
mainly
Bethune-
got more resources than Bethune.
this dude,
What
they
are
ain't
you
gonna never
talking
call us
about?
back. They ain't gonna never call us back.
Never calling you back.
I was about to say Bethune-Cookman softball coach has a dual role at Bethune. She does 2 roles at Bethune-Cookman. And they beat the number 1 seed in the West. Head and shoulders above the West. It is time to get rid of the divisions.
Them
in
damn
softball.
nerds voted against it, man. And I honestly, why did we let the presidents vote on that? I feel like that should have been an AD vote.
I don't think the president vote on that. It's. I think it's SIDs. It should be. It's always the SIDs that vote on it.
No. On divisions. I heard
Divisions.
it was the president.
Divisions.
Yeah.
Divisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not, like, why are we letting nerds determine what makes sense in athletics?
Because at the same time, the nerds pay that commission. The commission of the SWAC.
True, but still. But so at what point, if athletics is the expertise of the athletic director, that definitely seems like an athletic director question. Like, hey, do these divisions make sense?
So
they don't.
I'm going to halfway defend the presidents on one issue.
Okay.
Some of these ADs landed some of these SWAT schools in lawsuits.
Okay.
So on that note and that note only, I can understand some of the things. But some of this other stuff, no, it don't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, because even when we look, like Marlo said, the East pretty much runs the SWAC. You look at football, if FAMU and Jackson State play the first game of the season, whoever wins, you already know who won.
But in a sense that's the same way on the West, because Prairie View played Texas Southern the first game of the season. Automatically, you outright.
No, hell, the West always come down to the last damn
But
game.
yeah, they
all
almost
they
come out to the
bullshit.
last minute, come down to the last game, but at the same time, still don't nobody in the West play a division game except for them two in the first game of the season.
All right. I know we talked about this a lot. I'm gonna move this along because I gotta ask this question because we just had a way too early SWAT prediction. I'm putting
Hell no, I'm not changing what I said.
no, I'm not. I'm putting Sam on the spot. Way too early Big Sky prediction. Who should we be looking out for? What's your predictions for this season?
You mute.
Well, I think you might be muted.
Oh,
No.
shoot.
Oh, there you go. You lied. Okay.
You got
We
me?
can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, so first things first, Sac State, I think they're going to be playing a Big Sky schedule still this year, but they're looking to transition to the FCS or to the FBS. I think they're going to be the best team in the conference. I'm going to be real. Now, will they be eligible for the conference title? I'm not sure. I think they may still be, but I haven't seen the rules on that, so I don't know. Outside of Sac State, go ahead.
Are they moving up next season? Are they moving up this year?
No,
They
next
be
year.
in transition this year, and they go FBS next year. So this year will be a
So
transition.
no, they
year.
don't. They don't. From what my hearing is, they won't qualify for playoff or anything like that. So
Well, no, they don't qualify the playoffs, but I think they may still qualify for a conference title.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, so they can't make the FCS playoffs, but I don't know, because Sam Herder reported last year Missouri State was doing pretty good, but they're obviously in transition going to the FBS. But Sam had said something about they might still be able to win that MVFC title despite being in transition. You know,
Okay.
but I don't know. I think it differs from conference. Outside of Sac State, I like Montana State. I mean, they're losing a lot at Montana State. But I think the culture that Brent Vegan has brought in is kind of set at Montana State. So I like them. And then, I mean, Montana. I think the Montana schools are going to be the teams to beat. I'm interested to see what Idaho looks like, but I think it's honestly either I think it's Montana State's conference to lose outside of Sac State.
So yeah, I mean,
I know it's so hard though because the Big Sky has been absolutely gutted. I mean, it's so hard to tell with the transfer portal and NIL. I mean, all the best players in the conference are gone. You look at the conference this year, there are no name brands in the conference outside of Eli Gilman, the running back at Montana, and then Adam Jones, the running back at Montana State. I mean, outside of those two guys, there are not a lot of name brand players in the Big Sky Conference returning.
all right. So now I'm gonna ask this question about the two Canada junior schools, South Dakota and North Dakota State.
Yep.
I don't like North Dakota State because they absolutely make me nuts watching them run 10,000 times.
Oh yeah, run power, baby, power downhill.
It is. Listen, and again, I color all of that with. Listen, I grew up in the South.
Yeah.
We went from I formation in my lifetime. We went from I formation to spread in no time.
Oh yeah.
So going to listen and watching North Dakota State play football offends my football sensibility, but it wins.
If you're a purist, you really like that brand of football. They block well, they tackle well, they play good defense, they're efficient, the quarterback is accurate, he's gonna know how to read a defense. I mean, it's buttoned up football for sure.
I respect it, I just don't like it. And again, this again, football media guy, you know.
Then we got what my question is for what do we see out of those schools? Because in the MVFC, it's always gonna be between North Dakota State and South Dakota State. I don't see no other school outside of them two right there doing anything in that conference.
What's weird is I like the way South Dakota State plays. I absolutely love the way they play, which is weird. They just seem to be a little bit more versatile than North Dakota State. I don't know. The Jackrabbits just seem to play different.
You just like them because they throw the ball a little bit more.
That's what I like. And they play defense. They play hella defense.
They play really good defense. Really good defense.
So it is, and it's not. And I don't want to make it seem like North Dakota State don't throw the ball, but oh wow, we just come in
random shot at Southern.
Yeah, wow. What happened?
Nobody even mentioned them.
Like we was just wow. Okay, so dang, what just happened? I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Zach. I think NDSU is probably going to be one of the teams to beat this year. I did like South Dakota over. I like South Dakota to come out of the MVFC this year before they had 3 other starting linemen transfer. You know, that really is going to hurt them. But yeah, the MVFC is always going to be the MVFC as long as they got NDSU and South Dakota State. As much as you may not like that brand of football, that's the brand of football that wins, man.
Oh, I absolutely respect it. Again, I do believe, and I say this, I watched as there was a clash of styles between the Nebraskas and the Oklahomas and the Miamis and Florida States. So I watched that whole transition, and I can say that there can be a blend of the two styles, but everything is going to start with the trenches, and it's going to start on defense, point blank, period. If you can't stop,
have we seen a team win a championship at any level that can't run the ball?
No.
And doesn't do it effectively? We haven't.
No.
So, I mean, as much as people might want to say that, like the air raid, just like the Warriors came out, they were like, you can't win a championship shooting a lot of threes. They did it. I'm still waiting for the day we see a team win a championship that throws it more than they run it. We haven't seen it.
That's never, even when that was a thing, because I remember when FAMU did it first. When FAMU transitioned to the Gold Coast offense, Billy Joe was running the ball 25 times a game. But the 22 times they was throwing it, it was big chunk yarders. It was after, yards after
Play
catch.
action.
It was all of that. The same with Alcorn. Hopefully I said that right. Alcorn.
We had Steve McNair.
When they had Steve McNair. Yes, they was
yeah.
chunking it all over the field. They still was running it 22, 23 times a game.
No, Troy. Let's stop you right there. Marlo, who was running the ball 25, damn near 20 times a game for Alcorn? Steve McNair.
That's
He
still a
was
run.
there.
No.
It's still
That's
a run.
right.
Yeah, for him.
First of
For
all,
him.
first of all, Steve McNair was bigger than the damn linebackers.
Pretty
He was
much.
moving linebackers out the way with one hand and running.
That is true. That is
He
still the
did it
biggest
to us.
Heisman snub ever.
That's how I know.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, Zach a couple of weeks ago was talking about Steve McNair's stats and how that might be one of the records that will never be touched.
It won't be touched.
no, it won't. It just
won't.
seeing him on TV was just crazy. But again, and the OVC, I am kind of depressed at what happened to Tennessee State because they
With
went
Eddie?
not only that, they built that program to a playoff team, and then because of things outside of football, completely collapsed.
What happened to them in the playoffs, though?
They ran into
Junior
the
Bergen.
team they ran a million times.
Junior Bergen.
So, but
Them Montana boys come up to the call, come see what it's talking about.
again,
I mean,
there is absolutely
not even gonna hold you. I hate what's going on at Tennessee State, but if we not go extend Coach Gordon's contract, they got a women's b-ball coach up there that was nice and orange and green. That's all I'm saying. Her name is Candace Dupree. That is
what have you
all
done,
I'm saying.
Marlo? What have you done? You have infected the podcast. Oh my God.
What happened? I can't
I be reaching out to SIDs for like interviews of coaches, and we just be firebombing my efforts. Just oh my God.
I ain't even say nothing bad.
You said the lady name.
Well,
Oh God. Listen,
I said if we don't, I didn't say she shouldn't. And I'm just
Okay.
saying.
that being said, oh man, we'll we'll go ahead and get to parting shots because if we go into longer, I might get banned from Swag Media Day. whew. Well, again, I want to thank everybody for coming to the Gathering Old Men podcast. I'm thanking Samuel for coming back and visiting with us. Love having him on the show because we get a lot of insight that we normally wouldn't get. It has been my mantra for a very long time to talk about media rights deals. And sometimes God puts other things in front of your eyes to be like, it is not just one issue. There is a holistic approach you got to take to college sports. And I said before Coach Curry left, when it was talking about spring sports and NIL and transfer portal, we asked these kids to come into these schools to buy into the program, to become a part of the culture, but we don't buy into the program ourselves. And I don't mean rah rah sis boom ba buy in. I mean literally buy in. Not just, hey, I know you bought season tickets. Thank you. I know you helped pay for the spring meal plans for spring training. Thank you. But there are schools that are adding $5, $10 on ticket prices to 2%, 3%, and 4% on the ticket prices so they can get into this NIL space.
Mm-hmm.
NIL is not going anywhere. Not on the FCS level, not on the FBS level. And do not get caught up in the, oh, we got NIL through the revenue sharing. Where if your conference has a shitty media rights deal, there is no revenue to share. Your institution is operating at a net negative year in and year out. So how are these players going to get their piece of the pie and the revenue share? Oh, wait, I know. They go back to the settlement and they sue the school. So in order to keep that from happening from the institutions that we love, we have to buy in. And buying in means, yes, buying in to NIL. It could be something as simple as, hey, you got a car dealership. We know a kid needs a car. Let's get him a car. Do a commercial. That's NIL. It could be something simple as, we know this kid got $500 a month in bills. Let's get him on the plan and we get him $500 a month. It does not have to be $1 million. That is the lie that these coaches like Nick Saban sell you to scare you. NIL is not the boogeyman. It is the snake oil salesman calling themselves college coaches or former college coaches, you know, like the one that was at Auburn, Tubby. These are not your friends. You have common sense. You knew what it was like going to school. You knew what the struggle was. It is our job to make it easier on the students behind us to go to school. And if that's what we believe, then we also believe that NIL is not a crime that we're trying to make it to be. Again, what we see and what we hear about the numbers, the $1 million. Oh, this player left $3 million on the table and he still got $2 million from UCLA. So that is not the average player. Those are one-offs. Stop believing that Miami got all this money to throw around in NIL. They don't. Their $1 million donor is in debt. Stop believing the lie. Your common sense tells you $35,000 a year seems about average. That's about what the average non-college degree person makes. That's not an impossible thing to do. Buy in. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you to buy in. If you give a kid an NIL deal and he goes to another institution, that ain't got nothing to do with your institution. It is not you. This is not a breakup of your relationship with a woman. This ain't personal. It's just business. But if we're going to be good Christians like we all profess to be, you got to get people to the altar first. It ain't how you get them to the church. It's getting them to the church. And you can't tell a man about his salvation when he's starving. That's my time. We are on every single platform. You can go to watch.fatmouthsports.net and you can see all of the channels or all of the podcasts on YouTube. Again, we'll be here Tuesday. I'm going to let the other guys talk. Sam, what you got for us this week?
Man, I just want to thank you guys for inviting me back. It's always great being with you guys, man. You guys bring good energy. I can't wait for the season to start, man. Football season, you know, I love NBA basketball. And I'll tell you guys right now, if you guys are, you know, aren't fans of the NBA, this is a great playoffs to get into NBA basketball. It's absolutely phenomenal. Great games. Obviously, last night's Thunder game wasn't great, but outside of that, there's really good games going on, and I just love NBA basketball. But with NBA basketball, playoff basketball happening, you know, football season is right around the corner, and that's the bread and butter right there. So I'm excited about football season, excited to see. I think it's going to be an interesting year in the Big Sky Conference. Obviously, I work with Skyline Sports, so I'm covering the Big Sky Conference. I think it's going to be a very interesting year. A lot of seniors gone, a lot of transfer players transferred out. I don't think there's a ton of talent in the conference, so I think the title for the conference is really going to be up in the air. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to be talking with you guys. I'm getting married in July. Obviously the channel's growing. Yeah, I just appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to speak to your audience, man. Thanks always.
First off, congratulations. Let us know where you registered at. Ain't nothing wrong
Sure.
with a little ring on your finger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and what's crazy is I couldn't get this on my finger for a while because I had diabetes, so I got it on my finger. All right, Doc.
What's
What
up?
you got for us this week?
As always, way too early predictions. So we're gonna travel to the MEAC next, see what we do way too early for that. Second and foremost, still working on the shirts. Maybe we'll have asked the honey over here when we're gonna start doing the fuck off short shirts. And then last but not least, still gotta get that shirt for Marlo. Gotta have some fight. Somebody gotta show me some fight. Other than that, since Jamal's phone died, he told me to tell you, punch a Nazi, crash out, crash the fuck out, punch a Nazi. Donald Trump is still a bitch. And there you go. Me, hey, crash out on your kids. It helps. Make sure if you're a parent, beat your kids out of the penitentiary system, and y'all be easy out there. Peace.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Every week, this is a risk. We have coming to the stage a man that needs no introduction. Don't need to gas him up none, but I will tell him we just beat Bethune-Cookman to advance at the SWAC tournament. Because why not be an instigator? So Marlo, sir, the stage is yours.
I'm gonna just start off by saying how much my God loves me. He loves me so much that he allowed some haters to think that they actually had an opportunity of beating us, and allowed them same haters to see their defeat. So I don't think I need to harp on that, but thank you, God. But I have been thinking about this thing a lot. Like, I see a space for FCS to take advantage of, and the space is high school. A lot of this transfer portal stuff, and I get it. They're trying to get kids to already have some game film, so they go to JUCO, they go to transfer portal, and bring these kids into your program. But the kid themselves don't have any buy-in, and you're letting a talent pool go untouched because you want to go get this older, more mature, stronger, younger, and not nurture and build up someone you may think might produce for you in a year or so. So I think that a lot of these schools are doing themselves a disservice by not tapping more into this high school thing. So that's my shout out to the coaches. Y'all need to, and you don't have to look far, because there's high schools everywhere, especially in Florida. There's talent everywhere. These kids are waiting for calls, waiting. So pick up the phone, reach out, make it about building instead of about the instant gratification of maybe taking a shot at somebody who might instantly bring some success to your team, or a failure because they could suck and you didn't spend this time and opportunity where it could have been invested elsewhere. So that's my thought. I've been thinking about that for a little minute and wondering why more coaches haven't pulled that string. Is baffling to me, because I came up in a time where you got kids from high school. All this transfer stuff, it was non-existent. So, and we had some of the baddest mofos up on the yard. So that's my time. I hope everybody have a blessed weekend. I hope BCU have a nice long journey back to that place they call a school, and everybody over there get their tetanus shots because you gonna need them. Yeah, that's my time.
I want to make one comment about what you said about high school. I 100% agree with you, and it starts with player development. They need to get back into developing these players, man. Everybody want a made-ready product out of the transfer portal. Go develop somebody out of high school. You'll get better returns for it anyway.
Yes, you will. And these kids will buy into your system.
And it's still F that school in Daytona.
I just want to know if there's a way I can just grab my email back and ball it up. Because at this point, I just, to be fair, I reached out to.
God loves me. Y'all, they won last week when I said God loves me. Watch what God do. Watch what he did. At my school.
Y'all bear with me. Bear with me for 3 minutes. I just got one question. Why is it that I'm wrong when I say God did this for me in an athletic event? But when you say it, it's okay.
I go to church more than you.
So my blessings just be luck.
Hey, man. You got to get it where you fit in. That ain't fair. It is not fair.
You know what, guys? Thank you for coming out to the Gathering Old Men podcast. Again, you can check us out on all your streaming platforms. You can catch us at watch.fatmouthsports.net. That'll take you directly to our YouTube channel. And from there, you can reach all our other platforms. For myself, Samuel Kim, Doc Holiday, Marlo, we are out.
I appreciate